Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And man, we have to talk about, has anybody been following this whole tent city, sanctuary city, migrant city situation that's in particularly happening in New York City and Chicago? You already have a heavy preponderance of gun violence, homicides, robberies that are taking place in Chicago. And now they're influxing all of these migrants to Chicago, on top of what's currently a boiling, unhealthy scenario in the third or fourth largest city in America. New York, also the second largest city in America, first or second. The homeless, the opioid crisis, the homeless situation, the opioid crisis, mental illness, joblessness. These are all major factors that are taking place in places like New York and Chicago. And now we have this migrant crisis that is taking place. And Chicago and New York always has this kissing cousin kind of relationship with each other, whether it's Chicago dog, New York hot dog, Chicago pizza, New York style pizza. And now we have a similar situation with two African American male mayors there. In Chicago, in particular, it is going to cost the city of Chicago $30 million a month to house and to take care of these migrants. That's $360 million in 1 year. That's amazing how the federal government can find money when they need it. Also, during the same time, or however, we've had defunding of urban inner city schools for the last 30 years, especially when desegregation started and they started busing kids out to suburbia, and all those federal dollars went out to the suburbs, which helped destroy the financial fabric of these inner city schools. And now many of these inner city schools are unhealthy and are like ghost towns. And now we're adding this migrant situation in two of your top five major cities in America, where it can get extremely cold in the wintertime, and these individuals are going to be living in tents. So what is going to take place from there? Well, there's going to be a heavy burden on the healthcare system because there's going to be tons of people going to the emergency room. Violence, criminal activity, uh, opioid, drug addiction, mental illness will go through the roof because we're toppling uh, one group of people on top of another group of people that are both at the mercy of the turning our back on the downtrodden and the less fortunate. And this is not going to be a great scenario. This is going to be a galvanizing, unhealthy, lower income, urban city situation. And we are just seeing the beginning of it. The citizens of the United States of America, we must stand up. We must put pressure on our legislators, our politicians, to do something for these people in the right way: housing, education, job opportunities. It is going to be a heavy burden on the social services. These individuals are going to need food stamps. They're going to need all kinds of ancillary services to help them get on their feet. Mind you, we still have a huge number of homeless individuals, a huge number of people with mental illness, a huge number of people with drug addiction issues. How are we going to solve all this and still try to battle this migrant situation? It seems like every day that we turn around, things in America for the middle class and beneath, it is getting worse. Look at what's going on in San Francisco. The heavy increased numbers of shoplifting and homelessness and breaking into cars. Fortune 500 companies are leaving San Francisco at an enormously fast pace. Your Walmarts, grocery stores, banks. Uh, Seattle is seeing a very similar scenario. Portland, Oregon, all throughout California, not just San Francisco, LA. What are we going to do, America? We have to wake up, step up, and take care of our people. It seems like in America we take care of our pets better than we take care of our people. And we have to make sure that when we're making these decisions on human beings, that there's some hope in humanity that's left in this gumbo of confusion that we have created. This migrant crisis is going to topple. This is the icing on the cake for all of the disturbing things that are taking place in these urban cities. We have sanctuary cities in two of the top 5 largest cities in America, Chicago and New York. And mind you, they already have innumerable amount of problems as we speak. And now we're bringing these migrants to these particular cities. This is the craziest thing I've ever heard. So please take a look, Google it, YouTube it, take a look at what's going on in these sanctuary cities. And for those of you all who don't live in New York or Chicago, you need to look at it because it might be a migrant city coming straight to you here soon. You just don't know. So all of these things that are taking place, it does not seem like it's making any sense. And I think America is forgetting about its middle class and its lower middle class and just dumping everybody out into the street. So we need to take care of ourselves. We need to think and have a mental strategy for dealing with these issues: mental illness, opioid crisis, homelessness, joblessness, inept inner city schools, gun violence. We have to get this under control. And now we have a migrant issue. Let's try to solve these problems, not just talk about it, but be about it and help each person, one person at a time. Let's get this under control because this migrant situation is getting ready to be even worse and is going to exacerbate the situation for homelessness, mental illness, gun violence, criminal activity. And we need to start talking about this. And Chicago is killing the tourism in Chicago and New York. Who would want to go to San Francisco, to Seattle, to Chicago, to New York, when you have this migrant, this homeless situation going on? It's very dangerous. What in the world is going on in this country? We have to get it under control. We are getting ready to turn into a third world country. There is third world existence already taking place in many of these major cities: San Francisco, LA, Chicago, Philadelphia, Kensington, Philadelphia, New York City. What are we doing, America? We need to look in the mirror. We need to manifest our truth into the right way and do what's right for our American citizens. So each and every person, stay conscious and aware of what's going on with these sanctuary cities, these tent cities, these migrant cities. Let's attack homelessness, opioid crisis, mental illness head on. And let's change this narrative because America is getting ready to get out of control. And we are going to lose an entire underbelly of individuals. And there will be civil unrest if this does not come to a head and we don't attack this head on. So stay prayerful. Let's stay together. Let's take care of these migrants. Let's have some real resolution and let's not dump these people like they're garbage. And let's make America a better place again.